Hello, this is Hui. Welcome to watch my video, C++ Programming on Linux. In this short video, we're going to discuss QTreeWidget class. In the previous video of Qt SQL Broswer example, we used a new control which called QTreeWidget. This is the control and provide the tree view of this database. Once we connect to database, here is the database and all the tables of that database. So this control using the class called the QTreeWidget class. The QTreeWidget class provide a tree view that use predefined tree model. So this is a tree view and the tree model. So tree view being used in many places, such as File Explorer. This is the tree view. So here, in the File Explorer tree, when we click, we can have a single click, and there will be show some information, how many items in the status bar, and how many subfolders in this view. So it's also be able to use double click. So we can use a single click and a double click. Here on our tree widget, we can have a single click and double click. Currently, we don't have any program for this action. So now we try to demonstrate. When we single click, we try to see the table of a select name in this status bar. And we try to do double click, we try to query the table and display the result here in the table view. So let's close this. Back to this is our program. So in order to program for the single click and double click, we need to use the signals. So here for this tree class, we have following signals. So one signal we call item clicked, which is when the item clicked. And another signal is item double clicked. So in order to use a signal on this program, the browser constructor, we have to build the connection of a signal slot. Here I just cut and paste in order to save it. So what we do, we have to use and connect the UI DB tree, which is our tree widget control, and the signal, which have also we can use signal item double clicked. And here is the item double clicked, pick up two parameter. One is the column and is the items, so a pointer. So here we pick up an item pointer, a QWidget item pointer, and the integer. And then the slot, which is we call the function on tree item double clicked. And for the single click, we're using this is our widget. We named DB tree, and it's a QTreeWidget. And the signal is the item clicked, which is a single clicked, which is single click and double click take us exactly same parameter, item widget, item pointer, and the integer of column. So, and the slot function is called on tree item clicked. So after we did that, we go to the header file. Under the private slot, we have to create two item single clicked and on tree item double clicked. So on the tree double, and it goes for the functions on tree item single clicked. What we do here is on tree item single clicked. We first get the text of current items, which we clicked. We get to the string. We initialize a string of message. So if this item which is equal the DB name, it means it's our database item. So we put the message initial is its database, and we otherwise it's table. So we start our message start with table, and we add our string item text. So then we put it to the status bar show message. So this message, this is the item single click. When the item double clicked, when the tree item double clicked, what we do, we get the string called the string table, which is the current item text, which is the table name. So if this one is table equal the database name, with return, because we don't do anything. Otherwise, it's the table. So when we build my query, equals select star from and plus this table plus semicolon, and then we start from a model in the Qt SQL query model, and use our table view control. So then this model set up my query, which is we just created the query. It's a select star from the table we selected, and then we table view set model with new model. So we display that. So now let's save. Now let's start. Here is our graphic SQL browser. It's making. Okay, so here first we do we connect to database. So the database we have is PSQL, PostgreSQL database. The database name called batch DB, and let's go to the Unix. Here is the server /q. So the database on the server 192.168.0.101. So PSQL, the database name called batchdb. So /d. This -db have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables. And the table called club player program, player, club player reference, program, 5 tables. So here, our connection. So driver is Qt SQL is PLSQL driver, and username is my login name, and the password, and host name is so now let's click OK. So we connect to the database. Here's a successfully connect to database. So database name is YHDB. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So because so now let's say when we single click, you can see we made the table, which is this is the table. So its table name is called the player, and we showed here exactly as we programmed on the item tree items clicked. So we get the text from the current item, and we display the table. So we put a table and equal the table name. We display on the status bars. So here, look, see, now we see our single click is, if we double click, we can see we build, we query the table, we display on the table view. So when we see when the tree item double clicked, we got a table name. We build our query, select star from table, and then we display using the model view mechanism to display the result on our table view. So this is a very simple way. So let's say we click this, we have another, and we select star from and even we click, we make another query. This is a double click, and if we do single click, we change the message here, and we can do more on this application. If so, hello, this is Hui. Thanks to watch my video. Hopeful this is useful, enjoyable. It's going to be great to have your feedback.